Okay, welcome everyone. We'll get underway. If you'd like to grab a seat. Okay. Before we begin this morning, I would like to formally acknowledge the people of the Kulin Nations on whose land we are gathered today and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I'd like to welcome you all today. I know there are a lot of busy people in the room, and you've given up a day to hear what I think will be a fantastic program and well worth the time, but we certainly welcome your comments, your thoughts, your questions as we go through the day. My name is John Zalberg. I'm privileged to be the chair of the Australian Clinical Trials Alliance, and I'd like to acknowledge senior representatives of the Australian government and acknowledge those of you that have particularly travelled from interstate and New Zealand to be with us today. I'd also like to thank our summit partners. So meetings like this, as you know, are enormous an effort to organise and take considerable resources, and our principal partner today is Bellbury Limited. Kylie Sproston, who's the CEO of Bellbury, unfortunately sends her apologies, but we have members of the Bellbury board here. We're very grateful to Bellbury for their support, not only for this meeting, but as a strong supporter and partner over the past 3 years. We look forward to continuing to work closely with Bellbury in coming years. We've also privileged to have a number of the ACTA member partners providing support for the summit, and they include the Australasian Gastrointestinal Trials Group, AGITG, the NHMRC Clinical Trials Centre, SAMRI, Neuroscience Trials Australia, the Impact Network, the newly established Centre and the newly established Centre of Research Excellence in Cardiovascular Outcomes Improvement. And you can see their logos on the slide in front of you. I'd like to particularly acknowledge the work of Ben Mole and the organising committee for putting such a fabulous program together. I hadn't worked with Ben before, and Ben did one thing: is he kept us honest and kept us on target. I don't know where Ben is sitting, but we'd be sitting there thinking about various options, and Ben would say, "We're not leaving this teleconference until we've agreed on the topic, the title, the chair." And he did a fantastic job, and it's really up to Ben and thanks to Ben and the organising committee that we've got such a fabulous program. This is a really important meeting for us, for ACTA, and I think for the sector. As you're aware, we've just had the announcement of the Australian Medical Research and Innovation Strategy and priorities to guide funding from the Medical Research Future Fund. There is currently underway a structural review of the NHMRC, and of course the MBS review is well underway. And so all of these events occurred quite independently of the sort of planning, if you like, of this particular meeting. But I think it comes very timely as we think about an era in which there's going to be much greater emphasis placed on demonstrating value for investment. The taxpayers' funds administered by the government are invested in healthcare and in research. And it's appropriate, as we've all, I think, understood, that we ask, what do we get for these funds? How do we improve their efficiency, and how do we get better outcomes for patients? I think that this is a time in which we're going to ask consumers more and more about what it is what's important for them. It's going to be a time in which we ask clinicians and researchers what's important for them in order to improve health outcomes, and of course for government. So by very brief introduction, we'll get underway and we'll introduce our first session. But I hope you all enjoy the day. As I say, a fantastic program ahead of us. I should add, I want to put in a plug. I know people may come and go a little bit, but I want to put in a plug for the last session of the day, just so we've got the clash of the titans that we debate. The quality costs money, and that debate will be, there'll be two speakers, one Pradeep Philip, just recently the Secretary of the Victorian Department of Health, and Dr. Heather Wellington, who's had a long history in healthcare administration and healthcare advice about safety and quality.